Welcome to Wellness with Lajo. I'm Lajo, and thank you so much for being with me. Okay, this is seriously big news. I absolutely have to share this with you. If you've been with me from the beginning, if you've seen one of my first videos, I've talked about my bladder tumor. It's now 2 years since I got that resected or removed. And yesterday, I went for my 2-year ultrasound for the bladder. And guess what? Absolutely clear, clean bladder wall. I absolutely, oh God, I cannot be happier than this right now. You know what this means is the bladder tumor is out, gone, history, forever. That's what it is. I was supposed to do the tests every 6 months, which I did initially for the first year. And I was supposed to get the ultrasound done in December 2019, which got delayed for some reason. And then, of course, the lockdowns. And it all got delayed since 2019 December to now November 2020. Something good coming out of this year. That's really something to be thankful for. Of course, I am taking homeopathy to heal my hypothyroid right now. That's also because the figures were too high at that point of time. That has been improving, and that's another thing I need to test as well now. So a blood work is called for. In my earliest videos, I have talked about the bladder tumor, and if you missed that, then I will put a link above somewhere here, so you can go back to the beginning, in fact, and know what this is all about. So when the bladder was resected or removed, I was told by my doctor that it could come back. It could come back anytime. There was no guarantee after removing the tumor itself, even after going through the immunotherapy for 6 sittings, which was actually onco-BCG vaccines, which were injected directly into my bladder. In spite of all that treatment, it could come back. There were no guarantees. And I had to test for this every 6 months. And there was a possibility that I would have to go through the immunotherapy at least twice during these 2 years. I haven't needed to do that at all. The reason for that is actually the holistic healing regime that I began on my own as well. When I mentioned this to my doctor at the beginning of my treatment itself, you know, when he told me that it was a cancer, I had replied back saying, I know what to do. He had this very suspicious look on his face and like, what are you going to do? What do you mean? And when I told him I'm going to cut sugar completely out of my life, he was skeptical. He didn't believe me. And yet, after the 6-week treatment, he was actually surprised with my response to the treatment, because we did an ultrasound immediately after the treatment too, besides the fact that I was losing weight already. And he actually had that question for me. What are you doing? What have you been doing? Something that you're doing right. And yes, that's what it was. I cut sugar completely out of my diet for those 6 months. The initial 6 months, I cut it out completely. I also cut out all processed foods, all chocolates. Prior to this, I had actually become a chocoholic, and that was completely out. Zilch. Besides that, I was eating mainly fruits and home-cooked fresh food. That was it, really. And I've been following up with this practice, as a matter of fact. So 2 years now, and I still don't take sugar in my tea, rarely take coffee. So with coffee, I need to take sugar, of course. So that's almost out though. I think it's only once probably that I've had a soft drink because I'm at a party. I've only had a dark chocolate once in these 2 years. Cakes only on birthdays, again, very little, limited quantities, limited servings. So it's almost zilch. At the same time, I'm not cutting out my cravings for sweets. I'm not doing that. I'm eating it in the natural form. So fruits gave me all the sugar, the fructose that I needed, my body needed. Then there are foods like oats with honey, again, serves the purpose. The only sweeteners that I've been using really in my foods now are honey and jaggery. They serve the purpose. But still, I do have a way to go. I'm not completely out of the woods as yet. I won't be brazen to say that I'm through it all completely and go back to normal life again. It's not going to be that. So I still have a few more things to heal, like my hypothyroidism, psoriasis. Again, they're all related, but they're so minor compared to a cancer. So bladder tumor being a form of cancer, although I was lucky that we caught it at a precancerous stage. If things were to go wrong inside my body, with the inflammation growing worse at any stage, the cancer cells can actually travel to any part of the body. Now that is my next challenge. For the next 3 years, I have to make sure that I don't have anything happening anywhere else in the body either. 5 years on, that's when I will be able to say that I'm completely cancer free. But it is in the mind, remember? There is a lot of power in the mind itself that actually gives us the strength. I took the challenge. I decided back then that I am not going to give in to this thing. When the doctor was actually blasting the tumor cells out of my bladder, I could watch it on the screen at that point of time when he pointed out the tumor cells to me. And my immediate reaction was that these cells have been produced in my body, so they are a part of my body, but they're not normal cells and they don't belong there. And that's what I actually said to the tumor cells. I said, sorry, but you have to go. And that is really the attitude that one has to really come up with in life, where it's, I want to be fine, I want to live a healthy life. All the unhealthy stuff has to go. So the healthy practices that I still need to bring in, exercise. I haven't been able to do it during the past 2 years really, because my body was still in the recovery stage. Now I know I can actually push it. Although, of course, with a lot of other things included, I will have to pace it. I have already begun with yoga stretches, in fact. The next step now for me is really to go on to more yoga asanas and resistance training, plus cardio as well. That is something, of course, has been cut down really because of the lockdown. So I haven't been moving out for walks. This is supposed to be a happy talk, really, because something that I just want to share with you today. But there are other things that I've been doing also, trying to move into a healthy lifestyle, really. You know, many of the videos that I've been sharing with you in this past year, actually, yeah, it's been a year. November 2019 is when I began my YouTube channel. So many milestones really coming up here now. Lots of celebration. And that reminds me, we're coming up to 100 subscribers on this channel. That's going to be a big party. 100 subscribers. Come on, people, share this channel with your loved ones, share the videos with your loved ones. Let's get more subscribers on and be a family together. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please hit the red button down here on the side. Don't forget to hit the bell as well, because that will help you get notifications of all the latest videos coming up. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a lovely day. Stay with me. Love you.